back again. Well, this is a pleasant surprise. Ah, it was you who vanquished my body. It is my body, you see, and I can sense what happens to it. I do not mourn for it. Good riddance. If you wish for help, summon me. I'm rusty in battle, but will fight by your side. I cannot lie. Sometimes I wonder what's become of the kingdom. I was a hired hand, yes, but we soldiers stared death in the eye together. And for His Highness, I am afraid. But perhaps it's for the best. We knew not what we fought for.
Hello folks, right, this is a little bit different because I'm doing post-commentary on this one. So at the moment you can see me going through the foggy bit in the shaded woods. I'm just getting some items, so you should be able to see the items on the screen. I just hugged the right hand path this time and went through slightly differently. There are quite a few of those invisible enemy guys in here, so you need to be careful. Here I'm just showing this ring I've picked up and what it does. Haven't tried it out and probably won't. Don't know, maybe later. Yeah, there are some big trees in this area. Can't remember if I show it in this. This is an item where I went straight through the middle. To be honest, apart from that ring, there was nothing major in there, but there are these big trees. There was one just in front of me, and if you hit that, it makes a noise. Here I found the red tear stone ring. I'd already picked it up. I explained all that in the commentary of this episode, which I had done, but God knows what I did with it. So I came here. There's obviously you need a ring, produce the symbol of the king. Well, I haven't got the symbol of the king, so off I went on the left hand path, and I went through this area. Reason I'm speeding through this will become apparent at the end. Those of you that played the game will probably know why. So yeah, basically I did record the commentary live for this episode. I don't know what I did with it. I think I overwrit it. All I know is that I put the commentary for episode 49 over this footage and it was totally different. So I'm going to do post commentary. That might turn out a good thing, it may not. So I killed a few of these guys and found a ring of life protection. So I've got a couple of those now, which will come in handy. Because if those break, you can basically get them fixed. So I come down to this area and I've slowed down to normal size because I saw this creature down here and I was like, what the hell is that? And this very helpful message, which I'm pretty sure I do click on there, ranged battle here. Well, if you've been watching this playthrough, you know I'm all about the ranged battle. So that's what I do. And it's quite interesting, this is, because doing pretty reasonable damage with the bow. It came a bit closer, I realised it was the flexile sentry, and I was like, well, come on then. It won't actually go any further than that boulder. So I just hammer this thing with arrows. I mean, the flexile sentry wasn't the most devastating of bosses anyway. But you know, I say this in my first Dark Souls playthrough, anything that the game allows you to do is fair game. So I took down this flexile sentry and he drops me an item, Twinkling Titanite, which will come in handy definitely. So I'm just being a bit cautious here because, well, why wouldn't you? And then some great messages people have been leaving around in this area. I know I get peed off with the illusory wall one, but people do leave some helpful messages. I really should rate more of them up, but I don't think about it. So I've seen this item here and I was like, oh, what's this? Dragon Slayer's Crescent Axe and a golden falcon shield. And I think I do have a quick look at them. The golden falcon shield, it looks really cool, as you can see. but it's pretty shit when you look at the stats. Nice and light though. And I will look at the Dragon Slayer's Crescent Axe as well. Any second there. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. I do piss about more than I intend to when I'm doing these videos. So I will get there eventually. Here we go, you can see the Crescent Axe. There, that's the Dragon Slayer's Crescent Axe. And it does a bit of lightning damage. And the critical damage is not that much better anyway. And I can see that item there and I'm like, as always, I'm like, I want that item. So I have a quick look around here. Nice message there. Now I'm being very cautious up here. I was wondering what the hell was going on because you can see at the top the tree roots coming out. I was like, what is that? It was just tree roots. And there's a lot of bloodstains up here. Well, there's a few. So I'm thinking, what the hell is up here? And I'm like, oh, what's this? And I can see this place in the distance, which I have seen up close and personal. So here we are in the Shrine of Winter. And I'm being cautious here, having a look around. Items, no. So I'm like, oh well, let's go through here. Seek mightier souls. So yeah, I worked out that I needed to do another boss, but I wasn't sure where I was going. So I came back. This is the Doors of Pharros, I believe. So I come back to this bonfire. I thought, well, I didn't go through this area, so I'll go through this area. And you can see there's one of these big mastodon guys in there. There's water as well, so my mobility is a little bit limited. And then that thing just came from nowhere. I was scared the crap out of me. So I was completely disorientated at this point. So I do get my shit together in a second here. And these mastodons, they got good health. They do hit hard, but they don't hit you very often. So they're not a particularly troublesome enemy. Until they do that. And he drops me an item, a Mastodon Halberd. Another useful weapon that I will never have the stats to use. So I'm just cautiously looking through here because I can see bloodstains around. To be honest, everywhere you go in Dark Souls there seems to be bloodstains. So I'm just having a look around, get in the way of the land, seeing what's going on. And I come here and I was like, oh, what's that? And I noticed it's a Pharros' Lockstone, so I was like, well, let's check it out, see what happens. It opens that door, and there's this guy there. I mean, anybody that's been in this area will know what to expect. I won't say it yet. If you haven't been through the area and you're watching this for entertainment purposes. So yeah, open that door. I fought an enemy. There was nothing in there. I think I was checking for invisible walls as well. Illusory walls. I keep calling them invisible walls. I don't know why. It's just one of those things that I'm always going to do. So then I found this place. I was like, go up here. As always, very cautious. Shield up. Checking the corners. And you get a brief glimpse. I can see another Pharros' Lockstone in the distance. Oh, they've picked up a Gurm axe and torch. Sorry, it sounds like I just heard my phone setting off my headset. Sorry if that picked up. It's quite strange actually looking at the footage when I'm not playing it, and I'm thinking to myself, God, I piss about an awful lot. So yeah, I mean, you can see with this place, there are Pharros lockstones everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. What most of them do, I have no clue whatsoever. I'm looking at that thinking, well, that must do something. Still don't know what that does. And item here, amber herb. So I'm just checking out, making sure I haven't missed anything down here. And there's another area here that I can go into. I'm pretty sure I do go this way in the end. More of these. I thought they were like demented dogs, but they're actually rats. More from them later. Yeah, they are much more deadly than the rats in Dark Souls. Very, very quick. And they do toxic damage. And they only need to get a couple of hits on you and you're toxic. And if you thought the poison took your health down quick, you haven't been toxic yet. So yeah, I'm coming in here and I'm like, well, I know I've got a fair few Pharros lockstones. What should I be using them on? And I find this one. I'm like, what is that going to do for me? But I'm apprehensive because, you know, I've already been stung by one that was just a trap. I felt like I'd wasted it. So I decided not to bother with that. I was thinking that I was pinning my hopes on people would put some nice helpful messages so I would know what was worth putting my Pharros lockstones in and what wasn't. Twisted Barricade and Soul of a Proud Knight. So that Twisted Barricade is a spell. Oh yeah, I do have a look at it, and even now I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, I heard a noise and I was like, am I getting attacked here? I was very paranoid going through this area. Like every area. Why wouldn't I be? Ah, that was it. Yes, it was a hex. And I think I may have the stats to use that. I didn't actually... Again, I heard that noise. It put me off. I got scared. And I realised it was the guy by the chest. And there's something going to happen a bit in here, which was... took me totally by surprise. But I'll wait a bit later until we get to that point to talk about it. So I'm going to take this Gurm Warrior on. These, again, they hit hard, but they move slow. There seems to be a lot of enemies that like that. In Dark Souls too. But they're backstabbable. I think they showed that in a previous one. He drops me an item. Magic Stone and a Gurm Warrior Great Helm. So yeah, Magic Stone, I believe I can put magic enchantment, or it might be enchanted. I can put that onto a weapon. I probably won't do. I've already got my magic blacksmith's hammer, which is doing me some good. Beautiful view of Erin there. She's an attractive woman. Another Gurm Warrior, another backstab. And he's dropped me an item. Gurm Warrior boots. So I can basically look like Gavlan there. So I noticed there's a message here which reads try switch. So I'm like, well, I'm trying to look to see what obvious it could do. I haven't got a clue, and I was like, stuff it, let's just do it. Let's try it. And it opens Summit. And still to this day, I'm not entirely sure what it opened. So if anybody's got any idea what that did open, let me know in the comments. So yeah, I have no idea what that did. So I come here and it says trap ahead, so I'm expecting this wall to move out, and I'm thinking, have I just activated that wall? So I make a dash for it. I can keep hearing something moving, but I don't know what it is, and I never did find out. I see this spirit of another player putting a lockstone in on that Pharros lockstone on the left. Don't know what this guy is doing. He just seems to be attacking the wall for some random reason. So I just went in, backstabbed him. So here, this chest, check and see if it's a mimic. And then this comes up, being summoned as a grey spirit, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Because I haven't put my summon sign down. And nothing's happening, so I'm like, stuff it. Went to open this, summoning cancelled, unable to join multiplayer session. And there's a trap in there. I mean, that was perfectly timed. I think I contemplated, did they do that deliberately? So right now, I was pretty well raging. Talking about how unfair Dark Souls is. Probably, I don't know. I know I didn't take it well. So Titanite Chunk and Petrified Dragon Bone in there. And I use this. Oh, I got a message rated. Don't know what the message that was. And then it opens up this. And there's nothing in there. So by this point, I'm thinking, right, these Pharros lockstone contraptions are a waste of time. I'm looking at that one opposite and I'm just sort of like, no, you know what? Screw you. So again, being cautious, having a look around as well, and I noticed that item at the last second there. Another Pharros' lockstone, and a large soul of a nameless soldier. So then I was contemplating, should I go back and try that Pharros' lockstone down there? No. So I'm having a look around in here, and I can see there's quite a few of these Gurm warriors. I don't quite know how to pronounce that. Gurm. I want to call them Gyrum. Gyrum? Gurm. Although they've been better called Grim. I don't know what I'm doing here. Admiring that water effect coming down the screen, maybe? I don't know. I wish I'd get on with it, though. Nope, I'm just going to stand there. I have no idea what I could have been doing at this point. Right, mental note for me, skip this bit. So yeah, I had a bit of a pause there. I can't remember why. There was some reason, but I skipped it through for you anyway. So I'm looking and I'm just sort of like, I'm overwhelmed with all these Pharros lockstones, and I see this. Looks like a petrified Gurm warrior. Every time I say it now, it's making me laugh. Gurm. And yeah, and it's these two guys both aggroed on me. I thought there was only one over there. I'm wondering if this Gurm is petrified and I could save him. Message there saying not here. So both of these guys are coming. So my tactic here was, right, if I can backstab this one, then I should be reset by the time the other one comes along. And it worked, you know. A tactic of mine worked. Yeah, I was expecting the backstab there. It didn't come. So I retreat. Get a flask in. No, I do a life gem here. And then that looks weird when he's holding those two axes like that. It's like one of the axes is going through the other. It's bizarre. So again, I get this being summoned as a grey spirit thing come, which is winding me up because it's putting me off going through this area. I'm trying, I finally get the backstab on him, and then again this comes up, and I'm totally baffled by what this is. It's really strange. Yeah, I'm checking to see if I've got a ring on that enables me to be summoned, because I'm just totally baffled by it. And I can't remember if I was actually recording when I got my answer to what on earth was happening. So I'm making my way across here. Another stone. Grrr. Pointless and then regret, yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking with most of these. Yeah, pointless. Be wary of detour, or try detour. I think I'd just thought to myself, I am not going to bother with any of these Pharros lockstones unless there's a useful message there. I know I do open another one further up here. Trap ahead and then be wary of danger zone. Good messages that are putting me off. And then I noticed there's these three here. And this one says, when I eventually read it, try key. So I thought, well, I'll try it. Not straight away though, I thought I'd have a little walk around first. Yeah, I thought I'd take this guy out first. If I remember right, this guy just doesn't seem to aggro. He just wouldn't aggro, he wouldn't come across that bridge after me. He was like, no, I'm fighting you over here, and I'm like, no, I'm fighting you over here. And eventually I was just like, well, bollocks to you, let's try this. And I'm like, I can hear something, what's going on? And I was like, oh, great. But the thing about it is, he can't get out of the door. As you can see. So my hypothesis here was that the other two Pharros lockstones open the other two parts of the door. Well, logic dictates that that would be true. So I'm realising this guy can't do anything to me, so rather than waste my magic, because I'd noticed there was a boss, well, there was a fog gate, so I'm thinking there's a boss coming. Jumping attack in there, and I was like, well, I'll just let him settle down. And we get an item, which is just a soul of a brave warrior. So again, not really much point in opening that one, but if a soul of a brave warrior is exactly what's between you and going up another level, well, maybe it comes in handy, who knows. So here we go with this Gurm warrior. So I finally got him chasing me, and I think he just darts back, yeah, he backs off again. So I'm like, well, I'll just fire arrows at him, but he's got that big shield, they're not going to do any damage. So I'm determined to fight him on my own terms. And then I got him to chase me, which was his big mistake. And then I get the backstab. Goodbye to you. Yet another Pharros lockstone. I think I was just like, you know what, I'm sick of this place. And then it was like, oh, bonfire. And I'm thinking, ooh, I'm thinking there's a boss in here. There's a definite boss in here. And I'm human at the time. I'm thinking I can't see any summon signs, so what is going on here? And actually, it seems that you can't actually summon in this area. And I'm pretty sure that what happened to me, I wasn't recording because it would have happened by now, but basically when you get into this area you can be summoned into someone else's world, and I only found out from talking to a friend of mine that apparently you have to have a race to a bonfire, or you have to kill one another, and you've got no choice in it. It only happens once. It also happens in another area. So if you don't want that to happen, play offline in that area. So I'm looking around. I can see there's a big thing up on what looks like an altar, and these little things, and I'm doing my usual complaint. Oh yeah, can't be bothered to do a proper boss fight, so they have these little enemies to make the boss fight harder. You have no idea. These little rats make or break this boss fight, which you will see in the next episode. So this is very Sith-like, this boss fight. I'm just being shit right now. There you can see I got toxic. I tried to... why on earth I tried to use magic when I'm toxic, I don't know, but I died, and then I'm basically really annoyed. So here's a little extra bit at the end. I want this item. So I've got flash sweat on, I've got my flame quartz ring on, I've got the Elon Knight stuff on. You can see how many attempts this took me. I noticed this red summon sign. So I'm basically using flash sweat, as you can see, flame quartz ring, and the highest flame resistant armour I can have. I've got no weapons or anything on me, just for getting across here. So the amount of times I over-rolled on that bit, and this is tricky as well, because you have to run, jump, and then run and jump again straight away, and I was like, I want full health for this. I'll use flash sweat again just to make sure. I was like, fuck it, I'll use it twice just to doubly make sure. So you get that and jump across, and you can see I only just made it, and I'm like, this has got to be an awesome item. Bonfire aesthetic. I was not happy. That's the end of the episode. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you later. Goodbye.